Alright, so in the Hitachi, the hard drives corner, yeah?
Yeah.
The small hard drives.
Yes, we display the whole range from the 1-inch hard drive on the one side all the way to the 500 gig hard drive on the other side.
So it grows bigger and bigger and bigger, and now it's like the 3.5 inch, no?
Yeah, that's a typical set-top box or PDR drive.
So how much is this gigabyte?
Single disk is 160 gigabytes.
Yeah, single disk, and there's more than one disk?
Yeah, we have 3 versions of this one. We have a 3-disc version for PC and set-top box use.
Yeah.
We have a 5-disc version for server use, and we also have a 3-disc version that's optimized for silent streaming.
3 disc, you mean? What do you mean by 3 disc?
Yeah, the round thing here, that's the disk.
Alright, so
and the whole thing is the hard disk drive, to be exact.
So there's disk, and sometimes there's more than one.
Yeah, from 1 to 5.
Right.
Depending on the application, the storage requirements.
1 to 5. And how many gigabytes can you get with 5 disks?
500 today.
500 is biggest, yeah.
Yeah. We relax the density to improve the overall reliability.
Alright.
Just like a server type implementation.
But the 500 is in the market for normal people, no? But it's not the one you talk about? It's different 500? Or?
2 are in the market.
Yeah?
The server type drive and the desktop drive. The Cinema Star for silent streaming is just hitting the market these days.
Right. So can you talk about embedding that on portable devices?
Yeah.
And
we have a very slim 1.8-inch drive, 5 millimeters thick, that you would find in a number of MP3 players, in many camcorders these days, and also in this type of device here.
Right. And so that's a 30, 40, and 60. Or how much is that one? You say?
It's hard to say because we are the hard disk manufacturer. We sell to OEMs. We don't sell in retail, and we can't determine other people's margins. So the best way is to look at a website, see what the price is.
Yeah. But I mean, this one actually is 30, or it could be more than. I mean, you have 2 different ones.
Yeah, we have a single disc version that is 5 millimeters.
Yeah.
That can be 20 or 30 today.
Yeah.
And we have a dual disc version that could do 40 and 60 gigabytes today.
All right. So, and there's a difference of thickness between the two, no?
Yeah. The 2 disc would be 8 millimeters in thickness.
8 millimeters. Yeah. It's possible to see them next to each other to see how they.
The ones we show are actually different in style as well.
Yeah.
This one has the PC standard connector that would hold a 2.5-inch flex cable that you find in every notebook.
Okay.
The advantage is it runs on 3.3 volts only, so overall lower power consumption.
Yeah.
This one actually has a flex connector where you would insert a flex cable, which is more commonly used in the CE arena.
In the portable devices,
yes.
like this one, the Arcos there.
Yeah, like this video player over there, also this navigation device.
Yeah.
So this holds every map containing every street on the planet, supports 35 languages, can play back MP3, can connect to your phone. So you can navigate with that in your car at home, but also if you fly to the United States, for instance, get a rental car, it will still guide you.
And you can walk around with it on the street? Or?
You need the power supply, the antenna, so it may not be comfortable to walk with all these things in your hands.
But why is it so thick behind? Why did they do it so deep?
Oh, there's a lot of stuff in here. There's the hard drive, there's the speaker, there's the processor, then all the connectors for that to securely rest on its bay.
Alright.
So
you can connect it to the car speakers also?
Well, it's not a product that we design. We basically sell the drive.
Yeah.
So you may want to talk to the actual manufacturer to get more of the benefits.
Alright. So those are the 2 ones with 1.8 inch here?
Yes.
There's a 1 inch? Is that 1 inch?
Yeah. This is a 1-inch removable drive with a CF connector.
Yeah.
And a CF2 form factor.
Right.
We came to market with that kind of device in 1999 for digital still cameras.
Alright, so that's kind of like a CF.
Yes.
In the size.
The CF Type 2, which is the 5 millimeter thickness.
Yeah. So that's what's called also micro drive, no?
Yes, micro drive.
Micro drive. Right, and that goes up to 8 gigabytes like that?
Not in this shape.
Yeah.
We have a smaller shape, the embedded micro drive version, which is shown here inside the phone.
Yeah.
And it has a very special function because when disks are reading and writing data, they're actually susceptible to shock. They can only sustain, let's say, a 30 centimeter drop or something. So if I drop the phone now without the function that I'm going to talk about shortly, the drive might actually break and lose data. And now I have to drop it to show you.
Oh no.
And you see, it stopped accessing the media for a while. The red light came on.
Alright.
So there's a 3G accelerometer in there, 3-axis accelerometer, that will notice whether the drive is just moving or falling. And then the red light comes on.
And it's very reliable.
Yes.
Alright, it will never break the drive.
That's the point.
Yeah?
We have to get the head off the media before it hits the ground.
And that really, I mean, it works.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's the same thing that you have on those kind of devices or not?
We have implemented it on 1-inch first, and our hybrid camcorder hard drive DVD combination uses that technology.
Alright.
It was originally invented for the mobile phones, but it was useful in other areas as well.
Because if you didn't have that technology and you drop it, it's dead. It doesn't work.
It would probably be safe from that height.
Yeah.
But if you really dropped it down the stairs or something, you would very much like that protection.
And then you have to change the hard drive and you lose all your data.
Right, that's the risk.
All right. So, but I mean, you just showed the phone with hard drive. That's kind of special, no? Is that on the market or something?
There's a number of hard drive phones on the market. It hasn't taken off the way we thought it would take off initially, because phones are usually sold by service providers, and they need ways to make money. And today there's nothing established in terms of service that would really utilize 8 gigabytes or even more. It will be coming, so stuff is in preparation, but today the numbers sold are actually minimal.
If you want to combine the phone with the MP3 player, you need to put it in, no?
That's the most natural application for all that.
Yeah.
But the consumer would have the fun of enjoying MP3, but how would the network provider make money?
Oh yeah,
right?
they want to make money,
Right.
Yeah.
Unless you're prepared to go to the store, spend 600, 700 euros to buy it. But that market doesn't
It's not
really
as big
exist.
as the one where they give it you the phone and you have to subscribe for 6 months.
Yeah. So the service has to come to help subsidize that. Then it will take off. That hasn't happened yet.
So that Arcos there, it has also a 160 gigabyte version. That's thicker.
Not this particular one, but it does exist. Yes, and I bet they're on this show.
Yeah. The 504, I think it's called. The 604 is the small one, and the 504 is the thick one. That's
There's
what I heard.
actually a very big one that has a very nice, large, widescreen.
Oh yeah, and that will use one of those.
That uses the
one of those
2.5-inch drive that is available in up to 160 gigabytes. Yes.
So this one is up to 100, and what is the difference between those two?
Yeah, see, this spins with 5,400, which is the most common rotational speed in the market. This one spins at 7,200, so for the performance-hungry user. The advantage is we're using a very small head that has similar power consumption to 5,400. So you get the benefit of the speed, but no power penalty.
Ah, all right, but it doesn't exist in 160. You have to get the 504.
No. It has to be relaxed because the data flies by much more quickly. So to keep the head on track is slightly more challenging. And also the density has to be slightly relaxed.
So for now, the 160 gigabyte only exists in 5,400 RPM. But maybe it's going to come the 700.
Naturally capacity is growing generation by generation.
But on a device like that, you don't notice the difference between 5,400, no? And 7,000?
No, because the actual video stream is in the order of a megabyte per second. Whereas we could do over 60.
60 gig.
But no one's watching 60 streams on that handheld device.
So it really doesn't matter. It's just the gigabytes you want. And
right. Reliability, price,
and the power. And the power consumption.
Right. Yeah, that's much more of a concern in a battery-operated device.
So, can you say something about? Maybe you just have one more thing there.
Yeah, we have a very special drive that's built for use in cars. It will be able to start up at minus 30 degrees. And it will continue to operate up to 85 degrees environment.
All right. So if your car gets really cold, it survives. That's the thing.
Yes, that's the thing. So it's for navigation and entertainment. And the big reason to really have hard drives in cars rather than CDs is here you can update your maps as you go. You have a very precise informational location. You know where you are.
Right.
You just have to tell it the drive, and it will learn new roads as you go. So it keeps up to date.
All right. Could we just see the difference in size between 1.8 and 2.5?
Yeah, let's
put them next to each other.
Side by side. So that's the notebook type 1.8 with the same connector.
All right.
And here comes the slim version.
Slim version?
Thinner and doesn't have the big connector.
But there is you have some glass over it, not protect it or something, so people don't touch it.
Unfortunately, it keeps happening.
But how about the difference between a hard drive and a Nand Flash? Because Samsung is promoting this Nand Flash.
Yeah.
Is that much more expensive or something?
It is. It depends on the form factor really, but for a gigabyte of flash, you're still talking several euros in the market.
Yeah.
For hard drives, we're way below that.
Way below.
Yeah.
Per gigabyte.
Yes.
Right.
And it depends on the form factor. The bigger the drive gets, the cheaper the individual gigabytes become.
Yeah.
NAND flash is a consideration to improve drive performance also these days. We already have a combination of magnetic storage for the mass data, and we have a very high-speed RAM front buffer.
Ah, the front buffer RAM thing. Yeah.
Right. So you can transfer data from the buffer, depending on the interface, with up to 300 megabytes per second almost.
Yeah.
The drive itself isn't that fast. And in between the two, actually, there is room for flash.
And that's a cheaper solution than having everything in flash.
Right.
All right.
So it's known as the hybrid technology.
Yeah.
It's promoted by, of course, the flash makers on one side, the operating system makers on the other. We're in between, but only if all the three get the functionality qualified and in sync.
We'll so actually you're working with Microsoft to do the Vista,
right?
To make it work with that.
Yeah. The problem is if you don't write to flash smartly, if you continuously keep writing to the flash, it's wearing out. You can't write flash forever. Oh. And if you have a terabyte drive with a gigabyte flash front end, it means you have to write the front end 1,000 times more often than the drive to fill the drive up. So the flash would wear out, and that's where the operating system comes in. The operating system has to decide smartly what data to put where, when, and why.
All right.
And once that works together, it will come to market, and it's going to happen next year.
How about a device like that? Would that be able to access the files a little bit faster if it had some buffer thing?
No, in streaming you have absolutely no advantage.
No advantage, okay.
You have an advantage in booting up in a cold boot where you need to read many small files. If you wake up from sustain, you don't have an advantage, because usually you're uploading the whole RAM image as one, and we can stream that at 60 megabytes per second. With flash you could only do it with about 20 megabytes per second. So suspend to disk and wake up from disk is still faster on the spinning media. You could bridge the front end while the drive is still spinning up. You could do some reads in flash and then continue from the media. But that's a very complex implementation.
So for now, flash is much more expensive, and when flash gets cheaper, then this will be even cheaper, no?
Yeah.
All right.
And
so
much bigger.
Does that mean that, it's always going to be like a certain...
It depends how you look at it. If you say I have a $60 storage budget, and my need is only 32 gigabytes. Chances are, sometime in the future, you'll be able to buy that. But that's niche as far as we're concerned, because we have people even asking for 2 drives in one notebook, and they take the 2 biggest drives, and next year they'll take 2 of the even bigger drives. So there's a market that has such high storage demand where hard disks will always be cheaper. However, for whatever reason, if you say all I ever want is 30 gigabytes, all I ever want to spend is $60, you may do that with flash only.
And do you know about that? I mean, that's a special question, but in France they have this tax on the hard drive MP3 players. Does that affect your business somehow?
Because not that I could tell. We receive orders, we ship, we're happy.
We're happy.
We hope the other side is happy.
All right. And you're competing with Toshiba and anybody else also?
Well, there's a number of hard drive makers on the planet, yes.
For that size, for those sizes.
Toshiba is the only other in 1.8 inch today.
The only other, okay.
2.5 inch, there are a few more.
Yeah.
3.5 inch. Again, some more.
Some more. Okay. Thanks. Thank you.
Dreh durch für Sie.